Welcome to Clark's Creation. I'm Nathan Clark. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance that you have purchased one of our all-American made solid wood footstools that go very well with our chairs and our rockers. We're going to take just a moment, and that's all it's going to take because these are very simple to put together, a moment on how to put these together. Now, when it arrives in the mail, in the past we have used stickers to mark the location. And in theory, stickers work very well. But the problem is with stickers is that they fall off. They don't stick very well to the finished surfaces of the stool or the chairs. So we've kind of changed up how we're going to do it, but it does take a little bit of explanation. But once you understand, it'll be real easy. So when you get your stool in the mail, the only tool that you will need is a 7/16 wrench. If you're one of those that doesn't have wrench sets, a small crescent wrench would work just as well, but a 7/16 will be the size that you're looking for as far as the nuts and bolts. Go ahead and take everything out of the package. The stool will be wrapped up in something as well. I caught this one before it was fully packaged up. But go ahead and get all your parts loose. All right, what you will find once you take everything apart is two things. One, the front legs of the stool and the back legs of the stool are not the same. One is longer than the other. As you can see right here that there's a different length. Also, the hole pattern in the legs will not just fit anywhere. So what you want to do is you want to take the leg that fits the hole pattern. So this leg here, we'll go over here, and it fits this hole pattern right here on the back side or on the front. I'm not sure how that is on the stool. But here's what you'll find is that inside of every leg will be a marking. Some will say R, some will say L. It stands for right and left. That's something that we do for our production purposes, but it remains there, so you'll have that little sign to go by. Do not pay attention to the right and left, because with the stools, everybody has a different perspective of what the front and the back is, so the right and left will not always work out. But what you need to know is that little marking in there, written with marker, which will stay, must be to the inside of the leg so that you don't see it. So once you find the perfect hole pattern, which we have, then I want to find the side of the stool that it's going to fit on so that R or L does not show. It's this side over here. So we'll go ahead and we'll get ourselves a couple of bolts. Now this is very, very important as we push these in here. What we want to do on the back side of these bolts is we need a flat washer. The flat washer must go up against the wood, because when we put tension on the nut, that is going to keep everything from pushing into the wood. That flat washer gives it a large surface area so that we can squeeze up against the wood really tight, which you need to do with these stools so that the legs don't wiggle. So we need that flat washer in there so that we can really put some tension on it without damaging the wood. Then we put on a lock washer. It's the smaller washer with the little cut in the side of it, and that keeps the nut from coming off over time. And then we want to put our nut on there. All right, we want to do that to all 4 legs, all 8 bolts. Once you've done that, then you can take, I'm not going to take the time to go ahead and do it to all these legs, but then you want to take your 7/16 wrench and tighten it up. You need to make sure for sure that there's no gap on the outside of the leg between the bolt and the wood. That would indicate that it's not been tightened down well. And you want to make sure that your little lock washer in there has been squished down. The lock washer is like a little spring, and you want to push that spring all the way down. And then you just want to do a test with the leg and make sure that it's stiff. If in the future, as with all outdoor furniture, when it sits out in the weather, it takes up and releases moisture on a daily basis. When this happens, this can cause shrinking and expansion of wood, which can cause the screws and the bolts to, over time, get a little loose. So all you have to do is come back and just retighten those nuts down a little bit. If your stool feels like that it's coming loose, in the same way with chairs and things of that nature, just tighten your screws down and you'll be just fine. If you have any questions, make sure that you contact us, and thank you for your time.